Hello everyone, this is Robyn and welcome to my Cookie Cutter Christmas online class. I'm so excited that you signed up for this class, and if you're new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, and if you're one of my returning class members, welcome back. This is a really fun class and you're going to love it. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you everything that you should have got in your kit. You should have got this cute red. You guys like how it's red? I wanted it to coordinate with the Real Red ink pad for this class. So your Real Red bubble mailer, and I thought I'd do a quick demonstration on how to open it without actually ruining all of the product inside because I know it's in there pretty tight. You should have got a crumb cake ink pad, Real Red ink pad, Cookie Cutter Christmas. This one is photopolymer, which means you can actually see through it. Some of you upgraded to get the Cookie Cutter Halloween, and that one is on unmounted red rubber, so you can't see through it, but it doesn't matter because you can just punch it or stamp it and then punch it. You should have got the coordinating punch, and we're going to use this on every card for this class. And so I will go ahead and we will get started. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So what I recommend doing, and you don't have to save this, I know some of you guys want to save these bubble mailers, especially the pink ones, but don't worry about that. You'll get one with every class. You can just throw them away. So I'm just going to slice it open at the top. You just don't want, you want to make sure you don't cut that. And then if you want to, sometimes they're really stuck in there, you can just do that. Ta-da! And then you can get it out. And I know you'll have I think the 2 ink pads might even be in this one. I think I did that. Most of you have already opened it anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? Okay. So this is what you should have received. Now yours didn't have the cardboard in it. These are for my team packets. My team packet just comes like this, so I wanted to make sure that they don't get bent. Okay, here we go. All right, so we have everything here we need. Here's your envelopes. Now this class I went ahead and threw in 4 of the crumb cake envelopes since we're using crumb cake on 2 of the cards, so you could use 2 on each of those ones. And then the Whisper White envelopes right here, and you can use this on the red or the pink and black one. And I'll just set those aside. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with, let's start with this one right here. Did I line this one up right? Okay, right here. All right. So this one we will have, this is your supply sheet at the bottom. So this has all of the materials that I used for each card. The only thing that is wrong on here, there is one mistake, and I will point it out. It is on the gingerbread man. I didn't use the sparkle embossing folder. I don't know why I put it on there. I didn't use it, and so that's not going to be on there, so don't worry about that. But I have the sizes I use and I cut, so if you want to remake them, it's all right here for you. Since this is a class video, I don't put any of the editing, I don't put any of the text on it. Since I put it all on that sheet, I wanted just to kind of run like one of my classes, pretend like you were in my home with me, and it's just very low-key. So we will go ahead and start with this one right here, and these are the pieces you should have, and I'm going to go ahead and separate it out. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do one of each, and so you can do the other one on your own. So I'm going to separate them out for me into 2 different piles. This black piece here was embossed with the Happy Hearts embossing folder, and I used the Big Shot to run it through, and I'm not going to demo this today since we're going to take time using the punch. Okay, so it's simple to do. And here we are going to use the little strip of pink on both cards, so you'll only have one piece of that one, and then separate these, and then the white will also be used for both cards, so we'll use that, and then you should have a little strip for each of them. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside, and then the very first thing we're going to do is you'll also need a basic black ink pad. So I'm going to grab that really quick, and then we will get started on this card. Okay, I've got my basic black ink pad. And this class, it doesn't matter if if you just have a black ink pad, that will work for this class. We're not coloring in or anything. Okay, so we're going to be using the cute little Eskimo girl with this one. We don't need any of these colors. Okay, the only color we need for this card is black. And make sure I have it on the right one. Okay. So we're using the punch and we're using the Eskimo girl in here. Let me grab her real quick. Okay. I'm just gonna tear this off the top. And then we're using the saying that says, warm, heartfelt greetings, because I thought she's an Eskimo, right? So you're probably gonna be cold. So warm, heartfelt greetings. So you'll need some blocks. So I just put them upside down on my table, and then I'll just put the block on. I'm gonna get a bigger block for her. Now I'm saying it's a her because I'm using pink, but obviously you could make this one a boy if you wanted to, and just use different colors or whatever you need to use. And then I'm gonna do this right here. Okay, so I will go ahead and stamp this. This one is just going to be black. If you wanted to, you could add a pink accessory or something to it. But I like the way it looks just black. So I'm gonna ink it up and stamp it right here. And I gave you guys extra paper, but what I'm noticing with the punch is it punches out a lot of different things. You guys see how there's a lot of different things on here. So I'm going to do one on the corner because I'm gonna kind of try to do them in the corner like that. So when I'm punching them, they're not getting everywhere. And go ahead and set that aside. I'm gonna let the black ink set. It takes just like a few seconds to set. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes they'll smear if you touch them right away, especially with the new formula because it's the permanent. It needs to just set for a few seconds. Okay, so now I'm using warm winter. I'm gonna use it right here. Oh, I just got a text. Okay, perfect. And let's close this. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take this strip here of the Melon Mambo. And we're going to just, I gave you extra, but we're just gonna use the little heart. There's a tiny cute little heart. We're just gonna punch two of it. You guys, with the punches, you might make a big mess, but that's okay. Oops, the heart. So I gave you extra, so if you want to use it for maybe the bow, you could add, I was thinking maybe we could add a bow on her hair. Let's see what that looks like. So if you wanna do a bow to try it, it's up to you. But we're gonna need this, oh, we'll need it for 4 hearts because you're gonna need 2 for each. But if you wanted to punch the bow, you can. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and punch out our Eskimo girl. And just stick the punch right in here. It's so cute, it's so easy to do. Punch it out, and then I'm gonna turn it around and punch it out right here. Yay, super easy, right? Clean up my area for just a second. Oops, okay. So cute little Eskimo girl. And then we've got this. So we're gonna set everything aside that we need. I only need one of my Eskimo girls right now. So I'm gonna set that with my other card. Okay, so let's start with the back. I'm using the thick Whisper White cardstock, and it's cut at 5.5 by 8.5. I usually don't tell you guys. Now normally, if you guys take my classes, I already have it scored for you. I've decided I'm no longer scoring the Whisper White thick. I want you guys to score it yourself, or you can just fold it in half if you'd like. Most trimmers that people own, that you guys own, crafters own, have a scoring blade on them. So this is a Stampin' Up! One, or you could use the Simply Scored, and you're gonna score it at 4 1/4. If you don't have a scorer, you could use a ruler and just use a pen top. You know, the top of the pen, use something pointy. But you definitely want to score the white. And then I'm using a bone folder to fold this in half. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I have my Whisper White, and I am going to go ahead and let's see where I'm doing this. I'm going to go ahead and add my black piece using the adhesive, the snail adhesive. I'm probably going to need a refill in a second. I'm going to do this on all 4 sides since it's an embossed piece of paper. All 4 sides. And then I'm going to put this on here. Now I'm also going to take my little piece of paper here, and let's just add some adhesive. Whoops, I'm making a mess here for just a second. Hold on. I bumped my stack. We're also going to be using this pink, this Melon Mambo stitched ribbon that came on the very top of your package when you opened it. So just cut that in half, and we're going to use half of it. All right, so set that aside. Now let's take some of our adhesive, and I'm going to put this right here at the bottom, and I want some of the black to show. So I'll just put that across like that. Oops. Okay, it's dry. All right, and I'm going to take this here. Let's see if I have enough. I do. Yay. We're going to crisscross it. So we're going to take some just regular tape, and you should have plenty. I should have given you guys plenty to do this with. And I'm just going to kind of pull it across like this, so that's a little bit like this, you know, up. And then I'm going to go straight across in the back, and then I'm going to pull it down so it crosses in the middle. And then we're going to put tape again on the back. And then while we have it upside down, we can go ahead and put our adhesive on the back. Whoops, not on our table, put it on our card. And we're going to want to use a fine tip glue pen or a liquid glue pen of some type to put our little dots on. So let's see. This is how I'm going to do it. I've got ink already on me. Uh-oh. So I'm just going to put a little dot here of the liquid glue, just a little bit. I'm going to take my heart. Whoops. I got my long nail so it doesn't work as well as I'd like. And just put that on top of that. And I kind of wanted it a little bit of an angle. Oh, I did smear my black. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just put a little dot of your glue or some kind of liquid glue. It might work with a glue dot too. I didn't know if it was a little bit too small for that. Put that on here. Whoops, I like how that stuck it straight up. Okay, perfect. All right, and that'll dry on there. So that just gives it a little added touch. If you're using the fine tip glue pen, I know some of you guys have it, don't forget to put the poker thing in here right away. I made it off screen where I can actually see it close up. Okay, and then just close it. All right, set that aside. And now we're gonna take our little Eskimo and we're going to use some dimensionals. So you'll need adhesive and dimensionals and scissors for this class. I'm just gonna put one there at the top and then one right here. You can put as many or as few on as you'd like. I'm going to put her right in the middle, right here. And then flip it over. And on this one, I like to put one at the top, one at the bottom. And then sometimes I put 6 on here total, but or 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put 4 on today. I think that's plenty. All right. I'm going to put this right here. And if you wanted to take this bow, you could stamp it first if you'd like to and kind of just have it be on there if you want. I'm not going to do it with the bow. I like it without the bow. So here's the other card I made. So you guys will be making 2 of these. And this one I had this to coordinate with the white envelopes. So you could stamp something on the white envelope to match. Okay, so now it's time to move on to our next one. And I kind of have a little bit of a mess. So the one that I want to do next is the red one. So just lift everything with the red. We don't need any of the ribbon, the blue ribbon. That all goes with the blue card. Okay, so I'm going to separate this out because again, I'm just going to do one. Okay, so this is the piece that we'll be stamping the gingerbread on. We're going to be doing the gingerbread for this one. And then all of these, let me show you which ones go with which ones. So you're going to have the early espresso, one on each, and then the whisper white, one for each. And then you're going to have the red glimmer. Isn't it so gorgeous? I like to use the glimmer on one card at least for, in every class I do. I try to do some sort of glimmer or the foil sheets or something fancy like that, because these are kind of pricey, but I like to show you how a little goes a long way. So it's worth it if you get a package of it. They're $2.50 a sheet, but it's 12 by 12. So you can make a ton of things with it, and you can just save the little pieces and use them for punches. It's just fabulous. So I use one for each of these. And then the scalloped oval. Now I used the Big Shot again, and I used the layering ovals, which you have the item number on your sheet. Okay, and if you guys are watching this video this week, these are actually on special on my website this week. If you go to mypinkstamper.stampinup.net, if you don't own the layering circles, they have the scallops in them. They're on sale this week, but if you're watching this video later, they're not on sale. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. And you might be watching this way later, so just ignore that. Okay, and you're gonna have one piece of this because we're going to use this for a bow. So the first thing that we're going to do, this class we're going to use crumb cake and the Real Red. So we'll be using both of these, and we're using the gingerbread man, and we're going to be using the saying that says, wishing you a season as sweet and joyful as the friendship we share. So that's super cute, super sweet. Set that aside. Okay. And let me put this here and here. Okay. Now I'm going to grab a different block that I have already set aside. Where did I put it? I have my big blocks everywhere. Okay. That's too big of a block. I went to a stamping event last week, and I brought all my blocks to share, to use, for the stampers to use. And I haven't really organized them back, so they're kind of just all over. So I'm going to use that for the gingerbread, and I'm going to use this one for our saying. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's stamp the gingerbread with the crumb cake on the crumb cake cardstock. Let's ink this up. And if your pad is super, super juicy, this is a tip I shared with one of our class members who emailed me today, that theirs is just really juicy. If that ever happens, just take a plastic spoon or a plastic fork, kind of like a bone folder. Just kind of press it down firmly and evenly and kind of go over it, and it really puts the ink into the pad. And you really want them to come juicy like that. So that's a great thing. You don't want your ink pads dry. You don't want them to come dry at least, right? They will eventually get dry and you'll need to re-ink them. Okay, so we're gonna stamp this here. And mine didn't stamp very good because it came right up. Okay, I'm gonna redo that one. I was gonna tell you guys, if you want to stamp on a foam pad, since this is a photopolymer, if you stamp on a foam pad, it actually helps it stamp more evenly. Sometimes you'll get the white, but if I'm just using one stamp, I'll just do what I just did. I'll lift it up and I'll just kind of rub it on the back. I get a solid image and it's great. Okay, so that is the only crumb cake that I need on this card. I'm gonna put this aside. So now let's take our punch and let's punch out our gingerbread man. Okay. And do the trick that I showed you guys with the Eskimo, and you'll be all set. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside, and I'm clean up my little dots. Okay, so now while we have our punch out, let's go ahead and take our little piece of glimmer. Now remember, it's just the little piece. You'll have two big, of the same size, two bigger pieces for our card. So this one, we're going to just use it on the end. So you're gonna have extra. We're just using this for the cute little bow tie. Oh my goodness, it's so adorable. And then you guys will have a little bit of extra to save. You can use this for a lot of different things. One of the tricks I like to do is just punch it out with a hole punch. And it looks like, when you add it, it looks like red gems or whatever color glimmer. It just looks like gems. It's great. Okay, so I'm gonna set these aside because I'm gonna use them with that card. Okay, so now let's put this together. We're going to take the Whisper White sheet and our Real Red, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp it in the corner, ink it up. I just kind of pat it around a little bit. Try not to rock your stamps back and forth on the ink pad, even though I did still get a little bit of ink. It really helps that. When you're stamping it, don't rock them because you'll catch some ink on your page or your paper. I'm just going to stamp press firmly and lift up, and you should have a nice, what is that? I had a little bit of ink on there. Oh, it's sparkles. It's from my glimmer paper. Okay, and again, let that set for just a few seconds. My ink pad was super, super juicy, so I know that it's going to smear if I touch it right away because it's still a little bit wet. Okay, let's start with our real red cardstock, and I'm not going to score this. I really just score the very thick. The Whisper White thick is just super thick. It's thicker than the other colors as well. Okay, we will start with putting this early espresso piece of cardstock, and I've actually cut this one down a little bit smaller because I want to have a larger border of the real red just to give it a different look. Sometimes our cards tend to look very similar, so I just wanted to switch it up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and turn this upside down, and I'm going to put this on here. Okay, I have a blotch of something right there. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my red glimmer and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this as well. I think I need a refill. Oh, I do in 2 seconds. And this is going to go across in the middle here, the red glimmer. And then we're going to take our gingerbread man, and let's take some dimensionals and put the 2 like we did with the Eskimo girl. 2 dimensionals. Oops. And then we are going to stick this right here. And let's take our cute little tie, and we're going to be using some glue dots. Or you can use whatever you have that will adhere. I like to use the glue dots for something this size. Just going to put that right on here. It's got a cute little bow tie, and you could also use gems if you wanted to. You can do a lot of different things here. And then we're going to take more dimensionals, and I'm going to do 4 for this one. I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. You could probably get away with 3 if you spread them out a little bit. And take these off. Throw them in your garbage. All right. And now we have a quick and simple gingerbread card. You guys will have 2 of these. Super cute, right? I love it. I love that glimmer. Okay, awesome. So let's move on to our last and final card. So we're going to be using everything that is left over. Right here we're using Dapper Denim. And we're using, what color? The Crumb Cake ink. And we're also using Basic Black. I was thinking we weren't using Basic Black anymore, but I forgot. Now you'll have 2 small gems, or 2, they're actually the largest and the medium. 2 gems. So set those aside. Let's go ahead and cut our ribbon in half so you know to use it evenly on both projects, on both cards. And let's separate these. So we each get 1 of those, and then we're using the Whisper White and then the Crumb Cakes. And you'll have 1 striped and 1 polka dot. This is from the Designer Series paper packs. I love it. And the Crumb Cake is going to be right here because we're using it for the teddy bear. We're going to do the teddy bear stamp. It's going to be super cute. And then we're using a doily on each. And then I have these punched with the scallop tag topper. And then this we're going to be using for both as well. So let's set that aside. And the very first thing, let's go ahead and punch out the cute little teddy bear. Let me get my thing out. And we're using the saying that says, "Have yourself a very Merry Christmas." Isn't that cute? Does it remind you of anything? Any of the stamps? Have yourself a Merry Christmas. Okay, so we're using this is the bear, the teddy bear. I'm going to show you how to make the bear. Okay, let me find another one of my blocks. That's a good size. Okay, here we go. Good size. Just do that. And we also will need, am I using the tie on this one? No, I'm using the face, and we'll use the black for this as well. So you just need a little stamp for this one. Any size block will work for that one. And then we're using the cute little ears, and I like how they're already attached, but we're going to be punching those out. I'm going to show you how to do that for this card. And this is a great stamp and punch that you could make baby cards with. So it's not just a Christmas, even though it says Christmas, it's really not all Christmas. You could use the bear for other things. Okay, I believe that is all we need for this one. All right, well, let's go ahead and start with the bear. And we're going to use the crumb cake. I need a block for that, don't I? Okay, here we go. Have yourself a Merry Christmas. All right, let's use our crumb cake. And we will need a little bit of extra, so let's make sure that you guys will have plenty. I promise we'll do just like what we did before. I'm not working with a very juicy ink pad, but I think you guys will be fine. Your ink pads will be nice and juicy. Mine has been around a while. Okay, so I have my two little bears, and I'm going to take the ear. Well, I don't want to do the ears just yet. Okay, let's take our basic black, and let's stamp the face. And the face goes right here. It's kind of looking more like a bear, isn't it? At first, it didn't really look like a bear. I know you guys were thinking that. You're thinking, this does not look like a bear. What are we making, Robyn? Okay, let's put our black away. We'll need it in just a second. So let's go ahead and punch these out, and then we will do the ears in just a second. Okay, so now this one is going to go right. It's going to cover all of it. Oops. Uh-oh, my thing came off. There we go. I got it right back on. If that ever happens, you can maneuver it and get it to go right back in if the bottom part pops off. Okay, but it usually doesn't happen. Let's set one aside. And now we've got one bear. And now we're going to do the ears. Let me show you how to do the ears. Okay, let's stamp our ears. Let me see where they go. Now, I like to see where they're going to go. So I'm going to do the ears here, and I'm going to do them over here. So, ink up the ears, and then let's ink them up over here. Okay, let's put our crumb cake ink pad away. We don't need this anymore today. We just need our basic black, and we're almost done, actually. Okay, now we're going to take our ears. Wait, you have to do them one at a time. That's right, one at a time. So punch that one, and then punch this one over here. Just our little circles. Don't lose them. Make sure I punch the right way. Where did it go? Where did my circle go? Oh, there it is. I couldn't find it. Okay, so don't do that. I'm just going to do the two right now. I'll do the other two later. I'll put it with that project. Okay, so that's not the end. While we have our punch out, take your little blue piece, and we're using this for the tie. So you can punch out too if you want to use it for your other card as well. And now I can put my punch away. And we will put this little bear together. So now what I'm doing, or what I've done, and you guys can do it as well, you can just stick a little glue dot on here. And I just want to make sure that the glue dot doesn't, I'm just going to do the glue dot on half of it. So I'll just, where are my glue dots? It's okay if it's, I just want it to kind of stick like this. So it's not totally going to show. It's just kind of sticking off of that. Do you guys see that? Or you can just use adhesive, but this helps me so I can kind of see where the ear is going. I'm going to put the ear right on there like that. My little bear ear. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my other ear. As long as I don't lose it, right? Fold it over. And again, I'm just going to cover about half of it. Okay. And that way when I can see what I'm doing. Now this will work with adhesive or anything else like that as well. Okay. So I got my cute little bear, so cute. And you can have the ears out more if you want, however you want them. And let's go ahead and put this card together. We're all ready. So we're going to take this piece of crumb cake and we're going to take the stamp that we have set aside. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas, and we're going to use the basic black. When we stamp the black on the crumb, it looks like we're using the early espresso. So it really looks good with it actually. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. And then I'll put my black away so our fingers don't accidentally get on there. Okay, so now I went ahead and gave you guys 2 of these. You can use 2 or you can just cut 1 in half. That's fine too. I'm going to go ahead and just cut 1 in half. We really only need half for the project, but I like to give you guys extra sometimes. So you can make more if you want to with that one. All right, so let's go ahead and fold this in half, our Dapper Denim cardstock in half. I'm going to use my bone folder again. Okay, and then this card is going to be this way. So it will be the, what is it, the second card that's this way as well. Okay, let's start with, I have the white as a layer on top of the Dapper. This really makes it pop, makes that border pop a lot more. Okay, and then we're going to add the crumb cake on as our next layer. And now what I'm doing next is I'm going to take just half of one of these, and I kind of want it to be like right around here. Let's see, because I'm going to have this down here. Yeah, so that is good. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here so it doesn't show, and I'm just going to add it right about here. Okay, so that's where you want that. And we'll go ahead and add adhesive on this strip, and it's going to go across right here, right above Have Yourself a Very Merry Christmas. And now we're going to take our tag here, and let's go ahead and add the ribbon on first. Now what I have done, you might want to cut these at a slant, at an angle. It makes them easier to go in, so get some really sharp scissors and cut them at an angle. And then I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, do I want them in the front? I think I'm going to go through from, it doesn't matter. I'm the back or the front. You can just flip it to whichever side you want. Since there is no front, we haven't stamped on it or anything like that. Okay, and then do you guys see how we pulled it through? Now we're going to put it through here, pull them through these, and be very gentle because it's Whisper White cardstock, and it could rip if you're not careful. Okay, so I want this to be my front, like this. And then I'm going to have this a little bit shorter. So I'm going to cut each of these at an angle just a little bit shorter. Or you can cut them straight across. However you guys want to do them, it's up to you. Set that aside. And I'm going to put this, let's go ahead and put the bear on top of it first. And I'm going to use my dimensionals. I'm going to use 2 of them, right? 1 and 2. This on top of our white. And now our bear looks a little plain. So this is where we'll go ahead and add the bow with, I'm using the glue dots again. Add your bow right in the center, right here. And then we're going to take one of the little gems and we're going to add it into the middle, on the middle of the bow, and it's just going to really make it pop. I like to use my bone folder when I'm getting these gems off and transferring them. It just seems to be easier for me to do, except for right now because I'm on a video, right? Transfer it over. Okay, got my gem right there. I'm going to put this with the other one I'm going to make. And now let's add dimensionals on the back, and we're almost done. I hope you guys enjoyed this class. This was really one of my favorite classes. So when this class, or this stamp set first came out, I kind of judge when I first see the catalogs. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it. This was one that I'm like, oh, I don't think I'll do a class with it at all. And then I got it and I started playing with it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And you can make cute little reindeer with it. You can do so many fun things with this stamp set and this punch. So you guys are set. So we'll just add this right here, like so. Let me set this aside and show you guys all of the cards that you guys made. So these are the 3 designs you guys made today. And I hope you enjoyed the Cookie Cutter Christmas class, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for signing up for my classes. It means the world to me, and I hope you have a fabulous week. Bye.